the GVK Mall in Banjara Hills? Raise your hands. All? How many of you have been there to the Hard Rock Cafe? All. What have you seen there the moment you enter the Hard Rock Cafe? There is something written on the wall. And that's what happens when a creative entrepreneur becomes a creative philanthropist. What is written on all the walls of Hard Rock Cafes across the world is the message of his master: love all, serve all. I now have the pleasure of inviting Sir Isaac Tigrett onto the dais. And he's the founder of the original Hard Rock Cafe in London in the year 1971 at the age of 22. And he took the brand globally to the capital cities over the next 20 years. It was traded as a public company on both the American and London stock exchanges under his guidance as a chairman and CEO. He launched the International House of Blues Entertainment Company in 1991 with partners, the Disney Company, the Harvard University's Endowment Fund, the Chase Manhattan's Bank Venture Capital Group. Mr. Tigrett, through the non-profit Rama Foundation of Zurich, Switzerland, funded the Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences, the free 500-bed super specialty hospital in Andhra Pradesh, India. He has served on numerous profit and non-profit boards, including as trustee regent, director of the Cathedral of St. John the Divine in the New York City. He is a benefactor of the Freedom Award at the National Civil Rights Museum, USA, which he presented personally to such civil rights activities as Bishop Desmond Tutu and President Jimmy Carter. Isaac Tigrett was commended publicly on the floor of the United States Senate by former leader of the Republican Party for his worldwide contributions to American culture, now archived in the United States Congressional Record. Mr. Tigrett has been awarded 2 PhD honorariums for his work in promoting racial harmony and the promotion of the African American culture. He is a public speaker on ethics in business and has spoken at Massachusetts, Cambridge, and many other places. So, he being a devout Christian, has been a devotee of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and is teaching for 4 decades, and because of which you see this love all, serve all in every Hard Rock Cafe. Over to Sir Isaac Tigrett.
Wow, I can't believe I did all that. I'm just getting started. I'm in my prime right now. There's a hymn. There's a hymn. I'm so blessed. I love this country so much. I came here in 1974. He called me. I've been in love ever since, not only with him, but with India. It's incredible. I live here. Thank you. Well, so many of you. It's so lovely. The 2 most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you figure out why. The day you're born and the day you figure out why. I'm an 18-year-old boy trapped in a 68-year-old body. I'm probably the oldest one here at the youth conference. Maybe the youngest too, really. So I had quite an adventure. He gave me the most perfect childhood. Before the age of 13, 14, before puberty, I had experienced extreme lovelessness, violence, death, destruction, divorce, every single horror that frightens all of us before puberty. Also, he put me in a family that for 200 years, everything they touched turned to gold. So I grew up in a family so powerful, so rich, and so famous before puberty that those things I would never seek again. I couldn't have been more powerful. I couldn't have been any richer. I couldn't have been. Can you imagine being taught that, both sides of the coin, before you even reach puberty? So what are you here for? Oh, why was I born? If it's all those other things I've had are meaningless, even the scary ones. I was so dysfunctional that I couldn't sit in a room with more than 2 or 3 people at a time. I didn't make it past the 10th grade. Never spoke, so shy. Still am, part of me anyway. And my family sent me off to work in a factory in the north of England because I was dysfunctional and an embarrassment to them. So I worked in this factory called Carr's Biscuits. For 2 years I was the doughboy. I was getting about 16 pounds a week. And I decided, I got motivated. I said, my poor mother, she's lost 2 sons, a husband, the family, everything. I got to do something for her. I love her so much. I can hear her crying right now, thousands of miles away, every night for the losses that she had. So I saved this money, every penny. I walked to work in the rain in Carlisle. It's the worst city in all of England. And saved this money and decided to buy her an old car. And I went out and looked at a whole bunch of them and found an old Rolls Royce for 600 pounds, which is how much I had saved in 2 years. 1952 Silver Dawn, I think it was. The key was this. It was all motivated by love. It was a gift of love. It wasn't the car, it wasn't this, it was love. Love, love. I took that car off the boat. I was so excited in New York. I was 17 years old, maybe, 17, 18, 17, 18. And a guy came up to me as I took it off the boat. He said, that's a 1952 Silver Dawn. I said, yes, sir. He said, they only made 530 of those. I said, yes, sir. Really speak. And he said, I'll give you $35,000 for that car. And I said, I'm terribly sorry, but I have worked forever in this horrible place called Carlisle to raise the money. This is a gift of love for my mother. He said, my bank is right there. 15 minutes later, I had $35,000. My first deal. And I went back to England because I knew where they all were, and I bought 5 more, put an ad in the New York Times, and sold them off the boat, and went back and got 10, and 8 months later, the window closed because there was a disparity in the price between America and the UK. And I was just turning 18, and I had $250,000. In 1968, 69, it's probably $2.5 million today. And I couldn't talk to anybody. I was such a mess. But we had a social revolution going on. It was incredible. I wish you all could have been there. I invite you. You'd never believe what went on. I mean, we had a social revolution in the West. Kids dropped out of school. We grew our hair long. We had our, to hell with what the big boys have done, that we got nuclear weapons going to destroy us at any moment. It was the first and probably only love and peace revolution there's ever been. I joined up. And I decided, because I was so very much active, I've been an activist for lots of different things. It's what love makes you do. And I decided to open an altar to the heroes of the revolution. Bob Dylan, the greatest poet that we ever had. It was extraordinary. The Beatles, the Stones. We had all these incredible people, designers, and it was a whole world. So I took money, the $250,000, and I decided to open an altar to worship these people, the kings of the revolution. And that's what it was, the Hard Rock Cafe. And I can't believe it. This also motivated by love. Nothing but love. I'm almost embarrassed to show you this next slide, but that's what I looked like in 1971. Had a lot of gopis in those days. I wonder what's next. I don't even know somebody. Oh, my favorite picture. My very favorite picture in the entire world. Thank you, Lord. He was so sweet to me, always. I mean, I adore him. You have no idea what an amazing country this is. You have all the great masters, all the great saints, for tens of thousands of years have come from India. Sai Baba is one of those enigmas. When they're here, nobody really cares. After they leave, they get sort of interested, as they did in the Buddha and Jesus and so forth. There's another one coming. I don't know if you know the story, but there's supposed to be 3 incarnations. The new one's coming in 2025. So you all, I probably won't be around, but all of you will probably know of him. He's going to be named Premsai. So let's see. I love that picture so much. I was dyeing my hair that color in those days, by the way. The hospital. I did sell the Hard Rock, and I went to Sai Baba, and I said, what do you want me to do? It was really simple. Money is a byproduct of doing something you really enjoy very, very well. And then the money comes. It's not at the front. If you put money at the front of your motivation, you'll lose. You'll become cold, just like the numbers. So it was really wonderful that he allowed me to build that hospital. No big deal. Lots of people have done things like this. But for me, we just passed literally 4 million customers at that hospital recently. The poorest of the poor. Unbelievable. And again, this gentleman, I hate following him when he speaks. We travel together and we've been speaking a lot lately. It makes me very nervous to follow Srinivas, as you can tell. Let's see what else I've got here. Oh, any sound on this? Oops. No sound?
Want to know where stars like George Clooney, Julia Roberts, Brad Pitt, and even President Clinton go to hear music superstars like Prince, The Boss, and Hootie and the Blowfish? It's the world-famous House of Blues, and we're taking you there. The Blues Brothers show you around the clubs that pack the stars in night after night.
Here's the House of Blues. Come on everywhere. Come on with us. We'll show you around.
Plus, you'll hear incredible House of Blues performances by Tony Bennett and Aretha Franklin.
Did you come to party?
And we'll tell you all about the amazing artwork in these clubs. Pull up your VIP seat. It's a whole show of the House of Blues.
If you don't know the House of Blues, baby, you don't know Disney. You got it?
Right here on Access Hollywood.
I won't push you through the entire hour special that they did. They had nothing going that weekend. It was really a wonderful thing, and I know who arranged it, actually. House of Blues was the next thing I did. And it was because of Sai Baba. He gave me the name. he told me to do it. I'd only retired for 4 or 5 years, and I'd worked for 20 years night and day, literally. There's two types of people that come and work for you, by the way. At first it was 100 kids, and then it was 500, and then it was 1,000, and then it was 10,000 kids, all between the ages of about 16 and 25. I hired people like me that were dysfunctional, that nobody else wanted. But there's only two types of people that come to work for you if you have a business. Those that have been loved and those that have been unloved. That's it. It's all about parenting. But you put them together, the loved ones and the unloved ones. You create a surrogate family with values that mean something. This is from the heart, not from the head. And flowers start growing. The House of Blues was put together because I was born in the south of the Mississippi Delta. My fellow Mississippians and Tennesseans were 90% African. I grew up with the most amazing people in the world, from food to, Swami told me, he said, look, you've got to raise the consciousness of the African American experience to the general public in America. Because we're still seeing books on slavery and so forth. He also said that Africans had the ability to love more than any other race. And they do. They raised me. One of the few reasons I survived, I think. So the House of Blues happened, and it was an extraordinary, amazing thing. It was where the hard rock was about celebrating culture. This was about creating culture. This was a 3,000-room concert hall, restaurant, private club, and so forth. Huge thing. We did live music 7 nights a week. Out of 6 or 8 places, we did 6,000 or 7,000 shows a year. It was very difficult, a lot of work, but really a lot of fun. And it was also because of my love for African Americans and my duty to my master. But love was the key. I don't know how much longer I've got any wind left. I'm so nervous about competing with my brother over there. This was the logo that Swami chose, the Sacred Heart of Jesus, the Sacred Core. I said, Swami, that's the Sacred Core. He said, no, that represents the pain that Africans have gone through in America from the time that they were raped off the Ivory Coast. 20 million died just on the journey over in the ships. Quite something. Oh, I was not dyeing my hair at that time. But that's the LA House of Blues. That opened in 1994.
Now, Isaac is also making his passion for music and art accessible to a whole new generation by setting up a program that teaches kids all about the blues.
They're going to have a hell of a time here. Look at this place.
It's the Schoolhouse of Blues. Each week, the trendy chain of nightclubs turns into the coolest classrooms around.
Yeah.
It's all part of the House of Blues Foundation charity created by Isaac Tigrett. Its mission, to teach the history, music, and art of the blues.
About 70% of the school systems now no longer teach art and music, which was eliminated from the program. So we created this program, which is about 4 hours long.
It was also used during slavery as a warning, to let the escaping slave know that he must hurry to the river.
The kids hear the history of the blues, dance, and even take to the stage.
And we take them through a whole African piece and the Middle Passage, through the Delta, show the evolution of it right into R&B, rock and roll, and right up to rap.
Now, this is one of the greatest things I ever did. It's called International House of Blues Foundation. We would take urban kids, take our clubs every single morning at 8 o'clock. 3 or 4 buses, would come yellow buses, would come from the local urban schools, and we would give them a 3-hour presentation on African American culture, music, food, everything. It was really successful. Over 2 million kids have been through the program. 2 million. It's just such an amazing thing to give self-respect to somebody when they realize that the contribution was so great in music and in food and in general storytelling, everything. They left very proud. That was our goal, to have them leave with a sense of dignity. We also gave about 5,000, the kids would apply for it. We gave about 5,000 scholarships to college every year, as a matter of fact. So it's one of the things I'm really, really, really proud of, much more than the Hard Rock Cafe. I mean, the Hard Rock Cafe makes me feel like a t-shirt, a logo on it. I feel like I'm a logo. So, what's left? Let's see, I've got something else in here, I think. What is my little... Oh, here it is. I'll be back. This is a new project that Sai Baba asked me to get involved with a number of years ago. This is in Push. I just made a presentation in Las Vegas. This is 4 hotels. Inside there is, in fact, you drive into the building itself. There's a hotel on either side, electric cars. It's called the Bhutan. It's one of the hotels. It's really amazing. In fact, some guys from DreamWorks in Bangalore helped me create these images. We're also doing, I don't know if anyone ever heard of Amy Winehouse? No, she was a great singer. She died of alcoholism. She had a huge fan club. So I thought we would start a spa for people who need rehab, and make it a different type of spa, so that you had Ayurvedic medicine, you had allopathic, Chinese, all the new things. There's a lot of it. But we'll get past this. This is another silly hotel. And there's another. Oh, yeah, this caused a big stir in the Sai community. Swami told me to do a casino. By the way, he told me to do 2 earlier. I did 2 Hard Rock casinos that he asked me to do 20 years before. But this is an important slide. There's something in America called a B Corp. It's been around for a long time, and I've been fascinated with it. I've talked about it. I've tried to push it, but nobody wanted it. It's a type of corporation called a B Corp, where 50% of what you make goes to charity. Must go to charity. It's amazing. So I've been pushing this B Corp in a big way, and one of the exciting things is the leading tech magazine. Has anyone ever heard of Wired? Technologists? It's the #1 magazine for technology in the world, and this was on the cover of the London edition last month. Build something meaningful. The rise of the mission-driven business. Because, it's not because this is called culture. This is trending. This is cool. It's cool to do a B Corp now. We're sick of what's going on. When we started, the first sound I ever heard on the net came out of due to him, came out of the House of Blues on the Sunset Strip in 1994. Al Gore is a friend of mine. He gave me something called M-Bone, and we produced that first sound. And it was amazing. Silicon Valley was just a bunch of kids that wanted to create and change the world. Now everybody wants to do an IPO and make a fortune. Everything is, driven to your career. It's a totally different world. And then suddenly people have gotten sick of all that, and this is a new trend. And many, many young guys and ladies are now starting B Corps, and this is all about the B Corp and so forth. So the world can change, even without you getting involved. But you have to get involved. So the 2 most important things, the day you were born and the day you figure out why, I found out, and I he continuously told me over and over again. It's love. Love is the key to everything. Absolutely. Bar nothing. I mean, when the revolution was dying, it was 1974, I came to see Sai Baba for the first time. The peace and love revolution was dying. And I didn't know what to do because that was the purpose of the Hard Rock. So I was in the South Indian canteen, the only canteen there at the time. Very interesting food in those days. And I was going out and there was a little piece of driftwood. Somebody finger painted, love all, serve all. And that's it. That's what my business has to be all about. That's the new thing for me. Love all, serve all. I put that expression, by the way, Swami was so kind that he put his picture up. Literally, millions of people got his darshan from those pictures, which is a great honor for me. But love all, serve all, we put on over 1 billion t-shirts, caps, jackets, buttons, badges, matches, anything I can get my hands on. And that's the key. Love. Love all, serve all. We're so unconscious of each other. I mean, you know, an alcoholic, first thing he does in the morning, he reaches over for his bottle to separate himself from the world, to escape the world. Selfish. Now, we reach for these. We reach for these. So impersonal. Everyone walking around like this. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. This is so selfish. You have to be so careful of your intake. Great thing, but it takes you out of the world where you can be aware of someone else other than yourself. Anyway, I guess I've come to an end of my little chat. I can feel some stomachs grumbling up at the back there for lunch. So I'm going to leave you all. It's been an honor. Thank you all of the people that invited me to come, and love you all. Really, no problem. Y'all take care. God bless you.